Welcome to the Back in Black Bedroom Row podcast. We are here, Marshall Farnsworth, myself, and Alex Breidenbach. And we got my journalist friend, former reporter, Connor Dunwoodie in the
What's
house.
Up?
How's it going?
It's going good. Thanks for having me.
We got Connor on here for the second music video that we've ever reviewed on here because he's got some experience with the filming and camera, doing things like that. We actually started back in high school, TV production class, and then he did more stuff like that in college, and made sense to have him on here for the music video review. So I'm going to throw it to Connor real quick on just describe the people, your kind of film editing experience, and then your country music taste.
Definitely. Well, first off, I want to hit on the country music taste because first off, this song was like one of my listen to it all the time growing up with my dad in the truck. He'd drive us around. This would be a song that always played. So this genre, this era, right up my alley. But I worked in, like you said, we did a lot of stuff in high school and video together, in TV production class, made a lot of funny, goofy videos there and loved doing that. So I went to college to do it, ended up getting into TV and did journalism for a while. I did a lot of videography and editing almost every single day. And that led me out of TV to do freelance videography work. And now I lead a small media department at the company I'm at. We do a lot of editing on different systems, different cameras. So I've got quite a bit of experience, just how edits work and kind of the keys to videography. So yeah, a lot of fun with that.
Out in down Kentucky, by the way,
where the county I live in now is actually for more modern-esque country music. I know this is the birthplace of Tyler Childers. Fun fact.
Yeah, that's Tyler Childers. Cool. I had him. One of his songs was one of my top country songs, actually, of 2019. We had that episode a while back, so I definitely have been listening to him a lot this year. And then Connor, actually, the older brother of Mylan, our old co-host, which we all keep in touch with him, obviously. But for people that don't know him and listen to this, you're probably thinking, what happened to him? Well, he is alive. He is doing well, not injured or anything like that. We have actually made contact with him, and we actually did try to get him back on this podcast in a reoccurring guest role. The contact was made. He accepted the offer, and that's been it. It's been a stalemate since then.
Dude, he's probably trying to get some money out of
this. It was so I wanted him on here in a reoccurring once a month guest role where he would have a little 1 minute of Mylan, and it'll be like a reoccurring 1 minute of his life for a minute, the little Mylan mini pod. And he thought it was a great idea, and I said, awesome, send me a little 1 minute audio clip, and he said he would do it. And that's it. That's the last. I mean, I've definitely heard from him since then, but that's the last of that I've heard.
I'll try to get in his ear, see if I can convince him to start sending those 1 minute of Mylan.
I'm sure the Red Dirt Road podcast listeners that don't know him would they probably want that coverage. Yeah.
Something else, man.
Getting into this music video, the real quick thing that it has, the overview on Wikipedia says that the music video for the song features Brooks and Dunn singing the song at a concert. Scenes also feature the duo singing and playing guitar in a desert, and then drinking at local bars. Videos directed by Michael Marion. Both this and the video for My Next Broken Heart were shot in the same town in Texas and featured the same actress and were filmed at the same time, which is very efficient.
I was gonna say, saving some money where they can.
And then some little stats of this: 7.3 million views on it. And then here's my kind of breakdown of the video. Kind of hard to break it down because it just kind of, uh, like it said, just kind of throws these different things in throughout. It doesn't really go really in a story mode, but basically begins with them singing and playing the song and I would describe it as a small concert or a bar. And then it flashes this girl in the desert, shows them in the bar drinking, uh, and then Ronnie Dunn, you see him with the close up of his shades, goes to the chorus, goes back to the girl dancing in the bar. She's kind of waving something, shows them in the desert again, and kind of keeps going on and on like that. I noticed that for whatever reason, when it showed the girl in the desert, it was black and white, and everything
Saw
else
that
was
too.
not. So, and then it shows her kind of splashing water in her face at the end. So,
Notice at the end though, it's in color. Interestingly enough.
yes. So,
No.
gonna throw it to Alex on the music video here. What do you think about it?
Um, I guess you could give it the benefit of the doubt as it's old. This song is like early to mid '90s, and music videos were all the rage back then. They were on MTV, and that's how you'd watch music videos back then. Although I wasn't alive back then, so maybe you guys could speak better to that. But honestly, I this was not my favorite music video to watch. Honestly, I did not find I found it to be a bit repetitive. I liked the concert scenes. That definitely fit in there, but they just kept cutting back and forth and back and forth. And it was the same that actress. They kept cutting to that, waving the little streamer things in the desert. Now, I guess that is supposed to create the mirage or the illusion that she's the goddess that um, the boys have seen the light and been baptized by. I suppose that's the the damsel that you're supposed to look at, and I think that is sort of well played, but I mean I think it's not very I think they could have done better with it, honestly. Like you could have added maybe a little bit more effects, or maybe had more scenes of the girl doing more things. I don't even know, but like it just seemed kind of repetitive. And the drinking in the bar, I mean that definitely looked cool, but there's no the the woman isn't connected to the bar really, and it's not like it kind of feels a little separate from what the because if it's about that girl in the bar kind of thing, and the honky tonk vibe, they didn't really sell it as well as I think they could have in this video. uh, the concert was obviously well shot. I mean, that was definitely something that I would think is good. I mean, and definitely Connor can comment a little bit more on this as to the cinematography of the video, but for right now, I mean, I think that it does. Honestly, I think it deserves a reboot because this video is now. I mean, it was posted YouTube in 2009. I think it deserves maybe a revisit, and maybe they can find new ways to spice it up. But for right now, I did not really like it that much.
I definitely think that they were trying at that, generic countries 90, like to check the boxes, like bar, check, in, check, scenic place where we're playing our guitars, check. It was definitely it didn't put too much thought into it. I wonder if they thought that was going to be a popular song for them, or what.
Absolutely,
But
I agree.
what I did like about the video, though, from a strictly cinematic standpoint, is they do, and which is great for the time era this was filmed, is they do a lot of really interesting natural transitions. Which, if you notice, she's flailing with her wand or whatever it is, the stream will whip that across the screen, and she does that. The next clip appears of them back in the bar. Even nowadays, it takes a lot of work to focus that, and a lot of it requires like post production. So I mean, whoever was editing this thing together and kind of the storyboard in that, they definitely put the extra mile to put those transitions in, which I respect. Pure, like I said, from a cinematic standpoint.
I also had liked the concert scene. I think those were good. I like the concert, and I wish I would see more shots of them doing stuff in this desert, or I guess a town in Texas. I don't know. That might have been why there wasn't more shots. Is maybe it wasn't actually in the desert. Maybe it says it was in a town in Texas, so maybe there wasn't a whole lot there. But I wanted more shots of those, less shots of this girl dancing around. She's acting real cheesy. I didn't like that. And then the shots where they're just sitting in the bar, didn't care for that either. That didn't feel too connected, because it's like, what are they? They're in too many places now. They're, why are they were singing and now they're just sitting there. Wasn't sure. And then the more, like Alex said, them being connected to the girl, I felt like would be something important, but there was no connection. She was just kind of there. So in terms of on the ranking for Brooks and Dunn music videos, I would say this is not a bad one, because they're, like most country artists, specifically older ones, don't generally have great music videos. But not a bad one as far as if you've watched a bunch of their videos. I think it's a decent one. It's simple, so I didn't mind it. I think it does the job. They also do, since you mentioned kind of getting a reboot, they do have a new music video for this one that's with the new version of the song with Luke Combs, but it's nothing like this one. It's more them recording and them being on stage and stuff. So it's a lot different, but yeah, they do have a different one.
I will say this, which I found kind of interesting. I felt like they had an idea going into it, because the song is, one of the first lines is that they're baptized by the fire, or baptism by fire. Basically, he's a rough guy and he never thought he'd settle down, and then all of a sudden this Spitfire comes out of left field, and man, it's hook, line, and sinker kind of for him, and it's kind of chaotic and all that. And I don't know if that whole chaos was kind of why it was, if that was part of the reason they kind of have it disconnected. But they have those scenes in there where it shows him, he's throwing the knife into the floor, and he seems like a rough and thigh, and she's a beautiful woman, just that thing, and you see that the elements of that story there. But like you said, it was very disconnected, and didn't seem all together. But I almost wonder, I'm probably reading too much into it, but is it, like, do you think that disconnect is because it's crazy for him too? I mean, finding a woman, never thinking he settled down, and there she is.
Yeah, no, it is definitely like, I see what you're going with that. Yeah, he is. Yeah, it seems like he couldn't settle down, and then all of a sudden finds this woman and didn't think he would be in love, and he is now. But yeah, I think I was looking a little bit more for a story. Like there's that music video. I actually just thought of it. The other country music duo, Montgomery Gentry, they got a song. She Couldn't Change Me, I think is the name of the song. Pretty good one. Kind of similar, guy and a girl. And that's a little bit more of a story in that music video. It shows actually the girl being with the guy, and then she goes, kind of comes back. Whereas this one, I like kind of having it break up with the concert, but in between, a little bit more of the interaction between the guy and the girl would be good. But
I think
yeah,
that honestly hits the nail right on the head right there. Didn't mean to interrupt you, but I think that's a great point. I mean, the fact that, like, this is a song about a guy and a girl, but at no point do we see the guy and the girl actually meet. or do we see them even remotely related to each other? And I mean, that's one of the things that that's one of the big things that I have, like, against this video. And I mean, it sounds like, well, as Connor said before, it definitely hit the nail on the head in terms of a stereotypical 90s era country music video. But honestly, like, I've seen a lot. Now, I can't judge this like based off of contemporary new music videos, but I mean, I've seen, like, one of my favorite music videos ever has to be Jason Aldean's "You Make It Easy." And the only reason, like, I don't even like the song that much. I think it's like really kind of tacky, but the music video for that song has, like, he challenged one of his like some guys, like, and he paid him some money. He's like, can you make a 3-part music video with a story that goes behind this song? It's basically about how, like, these two people love each other for life. Like, the guy goes off into the military, gets maimed, comes back paralyzed, and the girl's still there and holding him tight, and it's really moving. And I mean, I think that is, at least comparative to this, I mean, they could have at least put a little bit of story in there, or at least something to, because as of right now, it just looked like, and based off of this video, it just looks like Kix Brooks, Ronnie Dunn are just singing to the camera, but they have no other, like, actual connection to this actress or this woman that is supposed to be playing the person that they've been baptized by.
One last thing I'll say. I think we pretty much said everything about this video. One last thing I will say before we go. The funny part of this video for me was they were showing this one guy in the bar, and he's kind of like, I think he's got maybe his head down, or he's looking at his drink, does not look very interested, and then pokes his head up for whatever reason. Something, he hears something, and then you just see the shot of this girl who's like the only person really looks like her dancing. She's dancing by herself and gives him like kind of a weird look, like I don't know, she's like grinning or something. That kind of made me chuckle. Like, I don't know what that is. Like, they didn't look like they knew each other, and I don't know, it just looked like she was kind of just like a strange, like, you ever see someone and they're like dancing by themselves and they're like that, they're a little too into that. Like, that's how that was.
Definitely. Oh wait, another thing that I forgot to mention, that little canyon scene, that does not look anything like Texas. It honestly, I thought it was the Grand Canyon at first. I'm like, well, so they went to the Grand Canyon, got a couple shots of Ronnie Dunn and Kix Brooks playing in the canyon. Now, I mean, hey, that's a cool shot, but what does it have to do with the song at all? I mean, like, in my opinion, it's not related, but it's still a good like, scene there. I mean, they tried to get creative with it, and that is definitely honorable.
Quick, because I'm wrapping it up. The very end of the music video, I don't have it in front of me. Is it just the two of them with their guitars in the sunset? I'm trying to remember. Because wouldn't you want to have the girl at the end there? And I think It's them just playing guitars into the sunset. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Yep. That about wraps it up for the Red Dirt Road podcast today. Gonna be back doing more of this album next time. So thanks for coming, Connor, and we'll see you guys